Hello and welcome to our first session of the programme. Today we're going to be focusing on a stretching mobility session just to start to get you aware of where the different muscles are in the body. So starting on the floor, we're just going to begin with our head and neck stretches. So we're just going to drop our ear down to our shoulder. Feel that stretch down the side of the neck. To deepen the stretch, we can extend the arm and gently pull on the head. Doing the same onto the other side, ear to shoulder, extending the arm, flexing the hands, and then gently pulling to get that deeper stretch. We're now going to come into some neck rotations. So chin drops to chest, and we're just going to take our head all the way around. Really feel that full mobility. We're now going to take it the other way. So chin to chest, rotating round in the other direction. Take your time here, feeling the stretch. We're now going to come onto a shoulder stretch. So what we're going to do is take one arm across the body and gently pull it. You want to focus on pulling into this area of the shoulder and pulling it that way. You'll be able to feel a nice stretch into the shoulder by doing this. Giving your shoulders a little roll in between our stretches. We're going to do the same onto the other side. So your arm is going to come across the body, we're gently going to pull it, and you should be feeling a nice stretch into this part of the shoulder. Releasing down and giving your shoulders a little roll. We're now going to come into a side bend. So you're going to place your hand onto the floor, reaching over. If you can, getting your elbow onto the floor. Don't worry if you can't, we just want to feel that stretch down this side of the body. Coming up, we're going to do the same onto the other side. So reaching over if we can. Getting the elbow onto the floor, but we still want our hips onto the floor. We'll come into a seated cat-cow. So we're going to extend our chest forward, sending the shoulders back. And then we're going to cave our back in, drawing our belly button back towards the spine, chin comes to chest. If it helps you, if it feels a bit easier, when you're drawing yourself back, you can reach out in front of you and really pull through that upper body, feeling the stretch into the back. And then as you come forward, you can place the hands onto the lower back and try and draw the elbows together. Relaxing the shoulders down, you'll feel that nice stretch into the chest. Next, we're going to come into our tricep stretch. So we're going to reach one arm up, turn it so the palm is facing the back of the room, and then drop the hand down onto the back of the shoulder blade. Gently pressing onto that elbow, you'll feel a nice stretch running down the tricep, which is the back area of the arm. Releasing that, give your shoulders a little roll. We'll do the same onto the other side. So we're going to reach the arm up, turn it to the back of the room, and drop it down onto that shoulder blade, gently pressing down onto the elbow to deepen that stretch in the back of the arm. Releasing when you're ready, give your shoulders a little roll. We'll come into a forearm stretch now. So extend your arm forward, palm facing up. We're going to gently pull on the fingers, and what you should be feeling is a nice stretch running down the forearm here. Doing the same onto the other side, we're going to extend that arm out, palms facing towards the ceiling, gently pulling onto the fingers to feel that stretch into the forearm. We're now going to come into some lower body stretches. So what I want you to do is come up onto the edge of your mat, sitting onto your heels. We're first going to take a quad stretch. So we're going to step one foot up. We've got a nice right angle here with our leg. And if we can, we're going to try and grab that back leg. So you should feel a nice stretch into the quad here. If this feels too intense or too much, you can stand up and do a standing quad stretch. Releasing that leg, we'll do the same onto the other side. So we've got a nice right angle with our leg, and if we can, reaching up and grabbing our back leg so that we can stretch that quad. If you do have bad knees, you can of course put a blanket or a mat underneath you to give you a bit more support. Next, we're going to come into our hamstring stretch. So just in the same way that we did before, we're going to take that leg up into a right angle. We're then going to extend that leg straight so that our heel is into the ground and our toes are pointing up. When you're ready, you're going to gently hinge forward at the hips, and you should feel a nice stretch running down the back of the leg. If you want to deepen this, holding onto your foot and trying to bring your nose to knee. Coming up, we're going to do exactly the same but onto the other leg. So we're starting in that right angle. We're then going to extend our legs straight, heel into the floor, toe pointing up. You can either hinge forward, hands can come down either side. You can reach forward for your toe or bring your nose to knee. Coming back up from there, we're now going to come into a glute stretch. So we're going to come into our pigeon pose. What we're going to be doing is bringing one leg forward into a bit of a forward bend. Our other leg is straight back behind us. And all we're going to do here is slowly walk our hands forward into our pigeon position, and you should be feeling a nice stretch into the glutes. If this is too difficult, you can do a seated pigeon where you cross one leg over the other and reach forward. Coming out of that pigeon, we're going to do the same onto the other side. So taking one leg forward, it doesn't matter if your heel is in towards the other leg, but the greater distance the heel is away from your other leg, the greater the stretch will be. So really sitting into that pigeon and reaching yourself forward. Coming up when you're ready, we're now going to shift our weight onto our bums, extending the legs out in front of us. Just getting a little bit of ankle mobility now. We're going to lift one leg up at a time, supporting ourselves with our hands behind us, and just rotate the ankle one way. And now the other way. Relax that leg down. We'll now take the same onto the other side. So starting with the other leg clockwise. And then anti-clockwise. Next, we're going to come into our bound angel pose. So we want our feet together and our knees pointed out to the sides. So what this is going to do is open up into the adductors, and we might also feel a bit of opening in our hip flexors as well. So either staying here if this is enough of a stretch, or you're going to bring your nose forward down to your feet to get that deeper stretch. Coming up when you are ready, our final stretch is going to be deepening that stretch into the adductors. So if we can, we're going to extend our legs out. It doesn't matter how wide you have them, as long as you're beginning to feel a stretch into the inner thigh area. You have different options here. If this is enough of a stretch, you can hold it here for 15 seconds. Or if you want to deepen the stretch on one side first and then the other, you can reach over, twisting your torso down, nose to knee, and that will deepen the stretch on one side. So twisting the torso, nose to knee, reaching into the other side. Alternatively, if you are really flexible, you can bring your hands forward, bringing your elbows down onto the floor, or getting your nose down onto the floor. And then we're just going to do the same onto the other side.